Welcome to Untold History, the space where we explore the secrets that shaped the world. In this episode, we travel to the 15th century to witness the rise of a dynasty that would set the course of Europe, the Habsburgs. From its consolidation on the imperial throne under Albert II to the ambitious expansion under Maximilian I, the Habsburgs transformed the Holy Roman Empire into an unprecedented political power. His rule, almost uninterrupted, laid the foundations for the reign of Charles V, the emperor of an empire where the sun never set. How did the Habsburgs manage to turn their lineage into one of the most influential houses in history? Join us on this journey through the struggle, diplomacy, and strategies that led to his rise. In the previous chapter, we explored the significance of the Golden Bull of 1356, a document that defined the process of electing the Holy Roman Emperor and consolidated the power of the prince-electors. This institutional framework provided stability to the empire and laid the foundation for the subsequent consolidation of the Habsburgs as the predominant dynasty in Europe. With the death of Sigismund of Luxembourg in 1437, the Holy Roman Empire entered a new stage of political and dynastic reorganization, opening the way for the ascension of the Habsburgs. To understand the rise of the Habsburgs, we must go back to 1438. With the death of Sigismund of Luxembourg, the last emperor of his house, the Holy Roman Empire underwent a crucial transition. Albert II of Habsburg, husband of Isabella of Luxembourg, inherited the crowns of Hungary and Bohemia, ensuring his dynasty's presence in the European political arena. Unlike his predecessors, however, Albert II was never formally crowned emperor by the Pope, but instead held the title of King of the Romans, effectively making him the elected ruler of the Holy Roman Empire. Albert II faced serious challenges during his brief reign. In Hungary and Bohemia, he had to face the local nobility, who viewed with distrust the strengthening of his authority. On the external front, the threat of the Ottoman Empire intensified with the expansion of the Turks in the Balkans. In 1439, Albert organized a military campaign against the Ottomans, but illness caught him in the midst of the conflict, and he died of dysentery in the autumn of the same year. His death left the dynasty in a fragile position, as his son, the Ladislaw the Posthumous, had not yet been born at the time of his death. The regency of Ladislaus fell to his uncle, Frederick III, who would mark the fate of the family. Frederick III ascended the imperial throne in 1440, and his reign, which lasted almost 50 years, was fraught with difficulties, conflicts with the German princes, the Ottoman threat, and the struggle to consolidate the power of his dynasty. Despite the challenges, his legacy was immense. Its motto, AI, Austria Estate Imperare Orbi Universo, Austria is destined to rule the world, reflected his ambition. It was he who ensured the continuity of the Habsburgs on the imperial throne and laid the foundations for the expansionism of their descendants. Frederick III's masterstroke was the marriage of his son, Maximilian I, to Mary of Burgundy in 1477. This link not only consolidated the influence of the Habsburgs, but granted them vast territories in the Netherlands and Franche-Comté. However, this union also brought conflicts. France, under Louis XI, was unwilling to allow the growth of Habsburg power without resistance. Mary's death in 1482 complicated the situation, but Maximilian proved to be an exceptional strategist. Through skillful military and diplomatic maneuvers, he managed to hold his wife's territories and expand his family's influence in Europe. Maximilian I not only consolidated the power of the Habsburgs through war, but also through strategic marriages. His famous phrase, "Let others make war. You, happy Austria, get married," sums up the marriage policy that made the Habsburgs the most powerful dynasty in Europe. In 1496, his son Philip the Fair married Joanna of Castile, securing the future union of Spain and Austria under a single lineage. This, however, also brought with it new challenges and conflicts, especially with France and the Italian states. But Maximilian was not only a skilled negotiator and marriage strategist. He also undertook major reforms in the political structure of the Holy Roman Empire. In 1495, He promoted the so-called Imperial reform, which sought to strengthen the central government and reduce the autonomy of the German princes. He created the Reichskammergericht, a supreme court to mediate disputes between imperial states, and tried to impose a uniform tax system, albeit with limited success. In addition, he promoted the modernization of the imperial army and encouraged the use of mercenaries to strengthen the defenses of his territories. Another of Maximilian's great achievements was his ability to manage the growing rivalry with France. During the War of the Burgundian Succession and the conflicts in Italy, he managed to secure his family's influence in the Italian states, particularly in Milan and Naples. His participation in the Holy League against France and his support for the House of Trastamara in Spain demonstrated his ability to maneuver on the complex European geopolitical chessboard. Although he did not always achieve decisive military victories, his diplomacy and strategic vision ensured that the Habsburgs continued their rise as the dominant house in Europe. With Maximilian's death in 1519, his grandson, Charles I of Spain and the fifth of the Holy Roman Empire, inherited an unprecedented empire. Under his reign, the Habsburgs became the ruling house of vast territories in Europe and America, ushering in an era of imperial supremacy. Charles V faced a series of unparalleled challenges. From the internal conflicts of the Holy Roman Empire to the wars against France and the Ottoman Empire, his reign was marked by the constant struggle to maintain the cohesion of his vast domain. In the religious sphere, it had to deal with the Protestant Reformation promoted by Martin Luther, which fragmented the Catholic unity of its territories and triggered conflicts throughout Europe. Despite his difficulties, Charles V managed to consolidate the power of the Habsburgs and expanded his dominion with the conquest of vast territories in America, consolidating the Spanish Empire as the main power of his time. Thus, the rise of the Habsburgs is a testament to political astuteness, diplomacy, and dynastic strategy. What began as a modest Austrian noble house became the most powerful dynasty of its time, shaping the history of Europe and leaving a legacy that would last for generations. This concludes our tour of the imperial rise of the Habsburgs. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Untold History. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories about the events that define the world. We're in the next chapter, where we'll continue to explore the twists and strategies that shape the story. Until next time.